Hello everyone, this is Jasmine, aka gladiatorinsweats, and I'm finally here with the daily tarot message for Wednesday, June 20th. So, happy Wednesday for everyone. Getting this out a little bit later, or a lot later than usual, but better late than never. So, let's just get into the cards here. So, we have the Princess of Wands clarified by the Six of Cups in reverse, with the Lovers card clarified by the Empress with additional clarification with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So, as usual, I did this with a reading of the energy of the collective and then some guidance for the collective. So, as far as where the collective energy is feeling like, we have, like I just mentioned, this Princess of Wands with the Six of Cups in reverse. So, as I've been mentioning all through this week, and as well as the weekly forecast, which I've got recorded. I'm just editing and getting ready to upload that right behind this one. So, not just a very vague like fire energy, but there's this the Leo energy that we're feeling, of course, yes, very much from the Venus being in Leo and the North Node being in Leo, and we will, we'll soon have Mercury in Leo, and then eventually we'll be in Leo season. So it's just a following of a lot of, and it's just not, any planets. These are, very personal planets that are moving into this energy at this time. So it's coming into not very much fire, not just fire energy, but it's a fixed fire energy of us. I'm seeing us as us more absorbing this energy, more, taking it in, us coming into this energy and holding this energy for, the spiritual battle, if you will. So this Princess of Wands, it's, very Sagittarius-like energy. It's the mutable fire energy. And so with this also supported by the Six of Cups, but also because of not just the lovers on the field, but a lot of this alchemic energy or just a lot of this mention of transmutation of energy. This is for me speaking of us really transmuting our pains, transmuting not just our pains, but Six of Cups can be very representative of like childhood, like deep rooted, not just childhood, but about like very deep, very kind of like even past life type of pains. And I'm really seeing that as those coming, not just coming to the fore, but really being purged, really being brought up, almost, not even almost, in a very emotional way. This is this Sun and Scorpio card, and so it is of this water energy, and it's just, it's fixed as well. And so with this being in reverse, I see this as this very fixed, these stubborn wounds, the stubborn pain, like it's being, flushed out. Even the way that you can see this kind of, I'm sorry, I'm not even aware of where the camera was this whole time. You can even see the way that there's, I'm not even sure if this is like fire or steam, but I imagine it almost like steam because, Sagittarius is, this mutable, energy. And so I am feeling like this is this transforming, using our emotions, using the water and the way it's, coming through to the top through steam, using it to enlighten us, using it in order to see through the illusions, in order to see through what it's about, seeing underneath, what were all these pains about, using that fire and being empowered and realizing that, once you are able to free yourself of a lot of these deep-rooted pains and these deep-rooted just wounds that we carry, even if we want to talk about something personal for me, slavery and of feeling, ripped from your home and feeling like not just ripped from your home, but, growing up feeling like you didn't really have a home as far as, as Black Americans, we can really get caught up in a lot of, not just get caught up, but it's because we have to go through a lot of like past life recall, essentially, is what us learning our history is. And so as we're, these things start to come up, we can either let it harden our hearts and be like, oh, so this happened and that's why I am like this way. And we can let it harden our hearts and become victims. And even in it hardening our hearts, we really disempower ourselves. And we start to be like, well, that's forever what I'm going to be stuck in. But it's like, even now, if you even just take the time to be present and even recognize that you may not be in, the most ideal circumstances wherever you are, whatever life path you're on, but that I feel like ultimately all of us can look and feel that things do seem better, or things are better than they were before, that the struggles may be different. They may, have evolved into different struggles or different faces of the same struggle, if you really want to look at it that way. But I just see it as us really having to let go of a lot of deep pains that just not only just not serve us, but deep pains that keep us from loving each other. Because it's one thing to be aware of our history, but it's another to use it as, to begin to start using it as another weapon, and using that as a weapon to cut other people down, using their ills and their faults, quote unquote, and using their sins to be like, well, this is why you're forever should be seen this way. And I feel like people are not only dealing with this on the macro scale, but we're also dealing with this on the micro, where there's also a feeling of testing, of people feeling their morals being tested and their beliefs being tested. And moving into the guidance, we have the Lovers and the Empress. I mostly pulled for clarification because I had court card and the Lovers. Anytime there's major arcana, I always am like, okay, I want to find more clarification, because these cards are very, large, encompassing, themes. They carry a lot of different themes, a lot of different facets and nuances to the theme. So I'm seeing this as not just about the union or coming together of our masculine and feminine energies. And I want to put this in the frame of logic and emotion, because we've spent a lot of time focusing on logic, and not just focusing on it, but pushing it so much to where now we do have toxic masculinity in a lot of different ways, not just through things of the sexual nature, but also through things of where there is a little bit, in my opinion, too much focus on logic, to where we lose sight of the bigger picture and you lose sight of what's really important. And I don't say that what's really just important, but you also start to lose sight of what you really feel matters. And not just that, but of fairness and what's just, and what's not just just, but of a balance of the ego and a balance of the heart and the mind. And not just the balance, but I'm seeing this as the heart really coming forward, not just because of this being the Empress, and you see the very large, Venus sigil there in the front, but, as I just mentioned, or as I have been mentioning about Venus, this whole Venus and Mars opposition being this huge thing at these nodal points. These are, this is important, and it's going to be a huge message, and I believe important thing to keep in mind in the next couple of weeks as we come forward into not just the full moon, but also this full lunar eclipse that we'll be having soon enough as well. But I'd also want to come forward and mention the Six of Pentacles as well. I just finished recording the weekly, so I'm just now realizing that this is the same card, and so I'm now connecting that and seeing that message of this was in the hidden factors position. And so I'm seeing this as especially with it being upside down and in the hidden, of a rebalancing of what we find successful, what we believe is success. And not just that, but I also see this as this could be happening in a physical way. to where we are losing things, or we're decreasing in finances and things like this. And I'm not necessarily seeing it as like a punishment, but I guess the way that I'm kind of seeing it as it's just a rebalancing of what really matters to us in our truest nature. And I don't even see it in a sense of like, oh, like you lose your job is because you don't actually how would I put it? You lose your job, it's not because you should be doing nothing with your life. I would say it even that is just weird. Like even as I'm saying it, like let me take that back and even rephrase. I feel like that's actually what's really ultimately changing, is like, what is it that we actually have to do? What is it that we have to do to make money? What is it that we have to do to receive worth and to receive value? All of that is changing, not just in the physical, but right now I'm feeling like we're actually feeling that change. Like we're feeling this within our emotions, and it will, start manifesting very quickly in the physical. As people are starting to leave their jobs, or as they lose things, they come into a realization of not just why maybe they didn't need that, or why maybe it was holding them back, or maybe it was even just taking up space from newer things. I did want to mention though, because we have 2 6s, and we have 2 6 cards, we have the 3 with the Empress, and we also have a 6 with the Lovers. So there's a lot of this 6 energy. And so I'm seeing this as like a mirroring effect of 3, a mirroring effect of like the Trinity, and not just that, but a mirroring effect of maybe like just the 3D. And so I just see it as like just the illusion folding in on itself. I hope that makes sense. And with these both in reverse, I'm seeing this as like just a removal from needing the material, the physical things to be like there to prove that we feel a certain way. I think I mentioned it on Instagram in my caption yesterday about like, because we don't see it, does that make something not exist? And so I'm feeling like we're moving into more of that space, and more into thinking about that, into letting go of the attachment of the illusion, the attachment of having things to need to look a certain way to our physical eyes. I believe that was all. I just wrote down little notes like karmic balance, Phoenix being reborn, even with like this Phoenix down here, all the fire, and then especially with the fire, you won't put the Princess of Wands there, and just all of the planetary energies that are in Leo right now. And I believe, do we have anything in Aries? Yeah, well, besides Chiron and Aries. And so I feel like this is all about us cleaning out the pieces of identities that it's not even that they're not us, but it's not the truest us. It's not the us in our most true nature. I believe that was really all that I put down. Just want to make sure. Yeah, just attempting to bring things into more fuller wholeness, fuller integration. Learning to manipulate our energy, learning to transmute pain and people's hate and projections into pleasure, into fuel for us. And yeah, the structure of pleasure being based on material success collapsing for many. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think I pretty much covered everything. So, thank you so much for watching. I am so appreciative, as I, can't help but say, for all the love, all the likes and the comments. I'm just appreciative getting to connect with you guys that way. So, stay tuned for the weekly reading, that will be going up today. It's not even about it should. It will be going up today. I just have to edit it together because it ended up being a long video. So I had to do it in like 2 parts. So I'm just working on getting that fixed and up because if you probably can tell, I don't really edit my videos. I just kind of give my very much realist, freshest, most honest essence, mistakes, flaws, and all. So I'm just working on that, long story short. And I believe that's it. Check out the past daily videos if you haven't done so already. I've also uploaded just a small video on the ways in which we judge others and the ways we feel that people must appear, must show up in the world to be deserving of love, and just kind of that info. But that's really it. Otherwise, I will speak to you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's it. So until the next one, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and that this reaches you well, or wonderful night, I guess, since by the time y'all are getting this, I'm sure it's definitely nighttime. So I guess good night, and until tomorrow, bye.